You're listening to the Dibbly Dobbly Podcast. Remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, and click the bell to make sure you get the latest episodes of the podcast. Be sure to like and share our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter and on Instagram. Now then, Jihan, let's do our predictions for this T20 World Cup for 2026. So let's predict who will qualify from the group stage to the Super 8s, and then the teams to qualify for the semi-finals, and who's going to be the leading run scorer, leading wicket taker for the tournament, and the team who's going to win the tournament as well. So we'll start with our group stage predictions, Jihan. Who's going to qualify to the next stage, the Super 8s? So we'll start with your predictions, Jihan. Who do you think is going to qualify from each of the groups, the top two teams from each group? We'll start with Group A. Who do you think is going to qualify from Group A?
So India and Pakistan from Group A.
Yep. Group B.
B Australia and Sri Lanka.
Group C.
England, West Indies.
And finally, Group D.
New Zealand and Afghanistan. No. New Zealand and South Africa, I reckon.
Okay. Yeah, they're pretty good predictions here. My predictions, Group A, India and Pakistan. Group B, Sri Lanka, Australia. Group C, England, West Indies. Group D, I went with South Africa, and I went with Afghanistan there.
Oh, okay. So you don't think
they
New
could do
Zealand
something,
make it,
given what's happened in the last T20 World Cup for them. But that's who I've gone for to qualify for the Super 8s. Now, our semi-finalist, Jihan. So now people are probably going to write in and say you got the wrong teams and they're in the same group in the Super 8s or whatever. But we don't actually know what's going to happen in terms of the final seedings. That's the thing. So that's why it's a prediction. And anyway, Jihan, let's try and work this out. The teams that you think are going to make it to the semi-finals.
All right. So we've got Group 1, which is Australia, India, South Africa, and West Indies. And then you've got Group 2, which is England, New Zealand, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka. Now, for you, Group 2 will be England, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka, because you don't think New Zealand are going to get through to the Super 8s. But if we look at Group 1, so Australia, India, South Africa, and West Indies, I think, for me, Australia and India are the ones that are going to get through to the semi-finals, and South Africa and West Indies will be knocked out. And then from Group 2, I think England and Pakistan are going to get through, and New Zealand and Sri Lanka will be knocked out.
Yeah, but I tend to agree with that there. Potentially those teams, as you mentioned, Jihan, will potentially go through to the semis and hopefully for two of them go through to the final eventually. I tend to agree with that. We shall see what happens come the semi-finals and what happens at the end of the semi-finals. So those are our semi-final predictions. Now, leading run scorer, leading wicket taker, Jihan, for the tournament. So leading run scorer, we'll start with that. Who do you think is going to top score in terms of the runs in this tournament? So choose.
So I'm going to have to pick an Australian player because I'm backing Australia to win this tournament. Well, I'm just hoping they will. So I've got to look at the Australian squad here because it's changed since those couple of changes. Sorry, just give me one sec.
Well, there's quite a few to choose from. You've got Glenn Maxwell, you've got Tim David, you've got Mitchell Marsh, Travis Head, Marcus Stoinis.
Yeah, so I just noticed that on Cricinfo they've finally updated the squad, so Pat Cummins isn't there anymore. He's listed as withdrawn. Okay, so leading run scorer. I'm going to say. I'm going to say. You know what? I'm going to call on the future. I'm going to say Tim David.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, he's more than capable of doing it.
Well, let's
It
just
just
put it this way.
depends how many games he plays because he's coming back from injury. That's the thing.
True. What I was going to say is, let's put it this way: if he does end up being top run scorer, Australia winning the tournament.
Yeah, that sounds about right. He's definitely capable of doing that, Tim David. Good prediction there. Good choice. For me, yeah, so many to choose from. But going to stick with the Australian theme here, Jihan. I'm going to go with Travis Head, just because he's in good touch of late. He's a good choice.
And he looks. I initially thought I was going to say Travis Head initially, but yeah.
Well, for continuity, I've gone with Travis Head because I think he's going to, definitely have a good T20 World Cup. He's in good form, as we saw on the Ashes, and he's going to score loads of runs. And I think he's done pretty well in the last few IPL seasons as well. So if that's anything to go by, then he should have a good tournament. So those are our predictions for the leading run scorer. Leading wicket taker, Jihan, who do you think is going to take the most wickets in this tournament? There's so many bowlers. But given that it's in Sri Lanka and India, the spinners may come into it, but also the seamers and the pacers may have a role to play. So who do you think is going to lead the wicket takers in this tournament?
Yep, so my pick is pretty random. I think India is going to be the other team in the final, and I think spin bowling is going to dominate the series. So I'm going for Kuldeep Yadav.
Yeah, pretty good choice. He's done pretty well of late. I'm going to go the other way there, Jihan. I'm going to go with another Indian. I'm going to go with Jasper Bumrah. I think he's going to do pretty well in this tournament in these conditions at home.
Yeah.
Was he the leading wicket taker in the last tournament? I think he.
Yeah.
I think he was. So he's.
Yeah, for me, it was either going to be Bumrah or a spinner for me. I went for the spinner.
Yeah. Well, I think Bumrah's probably going to have a big haul of wickets in this tournament. He's going to be crucial for India's chances, along with, as you said, Kuldeep Yadav as well, with their spinners. So that's our prediction for the leading wicket taker. And last but not least, the winner of the tournament, Jihan. Now, I think it's pretty obvious what we're going to say, but let's just say it anyway. Your prediction for the winner?
I think Australia are going to beat India in the final, similar to 2023, the 2023 World Cup final.
Well, it is at Ahmedabad, the final, again, which is what's going to happen. Or Colombo, depends if Pakistan make the final, obviously. Then it will be played there. But, obviously Australia for me, Jihan, probably with India in the final as well. Probably going to be a repeat, as we said, of what's going to happen in the 50-over World Cup 3 years ago. So it'd be interesting to see what happens there. But those are predictions for the winner of the tournament. And
well, if you go by form since the last World Cup, India number 1, Australia 2, England 3, and New Zealand 4. So yeah, I mean and those are my semi-finalists as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, actually, I think I said Pakistan, actually, didn't I? But that's because of the way that the groups are. So no, actually, England, New Zealand, Pakistan are in the same group. So I think Pakistan will edge New Zealand out just because they're going to have players more suited to the conditions.
Yeah, that's fair enough. If you're listening to our ICC T20 World Cup 2026 preview on the Dibbly Dobbly Podcast YouTube channel, let us know in the comments your predictions for the teams to qualify from the group stage to the Super 8s, teams to feature in the semi-finals, and who will win the T20 World Cup for 2026. We would love to hear what you have to say in terms of your predictions for the tournament.